This will be a presentation on HIV and AIDS by Aloe, Nathan, Joy, Tommy.
So, what exactly is HIV? HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. Following medical reports of an immunodeficiency syndrome in 1981, the search for a causative agent was on. Two scientists had isolated and cultured lymph node cells from patients that had swollen lymph nodes, which is characteristic of the early stage of acquired immune deficiency. They detected activity of the retroviral enzyme reverse transcriptase, which is a direct sign of retrovirus replication. They had also found retroviral particles budding from the infected cells. Isolated virus infected and killed lymphocytes from both diseased and healthy donors and reacted with antibodies from infected patients. In contrast to previously characterized human retroviruses, this retrovirus they had discovered, now known as human immunodeficiency virus, in other words, HIV, did not induce uncontrolled cell growth. Instead, the virus required cell activation for replication and mediated cell fusion of T lymphocytes. This partly explained how HIV impairs the immune system, since the T cells are essential for immune defense.
These are the two scientists that discovered HIV, François Barré-Sinoussi and Luc Montagnier. Importance of the HIV discovery. Soon after the discovery of the virus, several groups contributed to the definitive demonstration of HIV as a cause of acquired human immunodeficiency syndrome. Barré-Sinoussi and Montagnier, this discovery made rapid cloning of the HIV-1's genome possible. This has allowed identification of important details in its replication cycle and how the virus interacts with its host. Furthermore, it led to the development of methods to diagnose infected patients and to screen blood products, which has limited the spread of the pandemic. The unprecedented development of several classes of new antiviral drugs is also a result of knowledge of the details of the viral replication cycle. The combination of prevention and treatment has substantially decreased spread of the disease and dramatically increased life expectancy among treated patients. The cloning of HIV enabled studies of its origin and evolution. The virus was probably passed to humans from chimpanzees in West Africa early in the 20th century. But it is still unclear why the epidemic spread so dramatically from 1970 and onwards. Identification of virus-host interactions has provided information on how HIV evades the host immune system by impairing lymphocyte functions, by constantly changing and by hiding its genome in the host lymphocyte DNA, making its eradication in the infected host difficult even after long-term antiviral treatment. Extensive knowledge about these unique viral-host interaction has, however, generated results that can provide ideas for future vaccine development, as well as for therapeutic approaches targeting viral latency. HIV has generated a novel pandemic. Never before has science and medicine been so quick to discover, identify the origin, and provide treatment for a new disease entity. Successful antiretroviral therapy results in life expectancies for people with HIV infection now reaching levels similar to those of uninfected people. HIV testing. HIV can be transmitted by sexual intercourse, body fluids, or from mother to child, which is 90% of the reasons. As the infection progresses, it interferes more with the immune system, increasing the risk of common infections like tuberculosis, as well as other opportunistic infections, and tumors that rarely affect people who have working immune system.
Treatment for HIV. Treatment for HIV involves taking medicines that slow the progression of the virus. HIV is a retrovirus, and drugs used to treat retroviruses are called antiretrovirals, also known as ARVs. ARVs are always given in combination with other ARVs, and this combination therapy is called antiretroviral therapy, also known as ART. ART has been used since the mid-1990s, and ever since, annual numbers of deaths related to AIDS has dropped over the past 2 decades. What ART does is it reduces the amount of viruses in your blood and bodily fluids. Because a cure for HIV does not exist yet, mostly treatment for HIV involves ART. However, this is not a problem because ART can keep you relatively healthy for a number of years. It also greatly reduces your chance of transmitting HIV to your partner if it is taken consistently and correctly. ART is recommended for all people living with HIV, and this is regardless of how long they've had the virus or how healthy they are. Alright, so what is AIDS? AIDS stands for Acquired Immune Deficiency Syndrome, and it is also known as Advanced HIV Infection, Late Stage HIV, or Stage 3 HIV. AIDS is a set of symptoms caused by the HIV virus, and it is the last stage of HIV. It is also possible to have HIV without developing AIDS. However, if HIV is left untreated, it will most likely develop into AIDS and may eventually cause death. The immune system is too weak to fight off infections. This can lead to certain symptoms and illnesses, and it may lead to an increasing number of illnesses, and these illnesses are called opportunistic infections. Treatment for HIV means more people stay healthy and less people develop AIDS. The technical definition for HIV is when your CD4 cells fall below 200 cells per millimeter cubed. CD4 is a glycoprotein found on the surface of immune cells, such as T cells, and a healthy immune system has between 500 to 1,600 CD4 cells per millimeter cubed. Also, you are considered to have AIDS if you develop one or more opportunistic infections, and this is regardless of your CD4 count. The life expectancy of those with AIDS and without treatment is approximately 3 years. However, once you develop a dangerous opportunistic illness, your life expectancy drops drastically to 1 year. ART can be helpful to people who have AIDS and can also be life-saving. Treatment actually benefits people with HIV no matter when started. However, people who start ART soon after they get HIV get more benefits. Most people with HIV do not develop AIDS, and this is based off the United States because effective ART stops the progression of HIV. And people with HIV can live almost as long as those without HIV.
World AIDS Day. World AIDS Day will be on December the 1st this year, and people do the following to show their support. They would wear red ribbons, share images online, start campaigns, educate their own children, and start fundraising events by sharing these posters around.